See, African spirituality was never the religion of a state, of a modern state. You see what I'm saying? So these other religions, which are just as sophisticated and have just as much to offer as Islam, Christianity, and Hebrewism, they never get that type of attention because they were never forced on people and they never served as religions of the state. The state spread Christianity for...
Now, you see, I was real happy when he did this because he was talking so much about, Christianity being persecuted and Christianity this, Christianity that, when I've already shown his interpretation of what Christianity is from what the Bible says, not from what the Pope says, not from what Sir Francis. This is King blah, blah, blah. This is, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care even what I say. I care about what the Bible says. Once the Bible say it, then we can say that's fact. If it's not in the Bible, then it's not fact. It is off of man's tradition, off of what someone else is saying. He say, she say. But let's go into what the African spirituality teach. Now, African spirituality, which includes traditions like Yoruba, Lukumi, and Santeria, is based on several beliefs and practices. The spirit of the creator. All things animate and inanimate have a part of the creator spirit within them. That is pantheism. That is God and man, man and God. God and nature, nature and God. So not only is just man God, but the bird is a part of the God. So he's got the fish, the cow, all these other types of stuff is a part of God. The trees, everything that has an atom is a part of God. Everything that can move or whatever the situation may be is part of God. Pantheism for you in a nutshell. Ancestors. Ancestors maintain a spiritual connection with their living relatives, and most ancestral spirits are good and kind. We're going to talk about this. The spirit world. Deceased humans, animals, and important objects continue to exist in the spirit world and can interact with the physical world. We're going to go all into this. Communication with the spirit world, okay? People can communicate with those who have passed away to form a relationship that continues even after death. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're going to see if this is what the Bible says, though. Divination. People can seek guidance from the spirit world to address life challenges. Traditional healers of diviners, known as Sangoma, if I'm saying it correctly, Babaloa, if I'm saying it correctly, or Ningaga, if I'm saying it correctly again, use methods such as prayers, rituals, herbal remedies to promote health and well-being. Let's keep this some digging. Native African religions are centered on ancestor worship, the belief in the spirit world, supernatural beings, and free will. Unlike the latter development concept of faith, deceased humans and animals or important objects still exist in the spirit world and can influence or interact with the physical world. Like I said, we're going to multiple sources, so we're just not going to one. Now, they mentioned Yoruba, Lukumi, and Santeria. This is Yoruba. It shares some parallels with the Vondun practiced by the neighboring Fan and Ewe peoples to the west and with the religion of the Edo people to the east. Yoruba religion is the basis for a number of religions in the New World. Notably, we're about to get somewhere real interesting, people. Santeria, Umbanda, Trinidad, Orisha, and Candomble, if I'm saying it correctly. Yoruba religious beliefs are part of Itan history, the total complex of songs, history, stories, and other cultural concepts which make up the Yoruba society. But they're tied to another group as well, another religion, or form of a religion, I should say. Candomble is an African diasporic religion that developed in Brazil during the 19th century. It arose through a process of syncretism between several of the traditional religions of West Africa, especially those of the Yoruba, Bantu, Gumbi, coupled with influences from Roman Catholicism. Oh wow. There is no central authority in control of Candomble, which is organized around autonomous Tariaros houses. But as you can see, people, Catholicism is tied. The belief of Catholicism, the traditions, the practices that they practice. Because remember, Catholicism venerates the dead. African spirituality venerates the dead. Now we're going to see if the Bible promotes this. A practitioner dressed as the Orkska Oba at the temple in Brazil. The possession of adherents by Orixá is central to the Candomble. Now look here, people. It says the possession. It is not talking about the Candomble practitioner being in possession of something. It is talking about this practitioner being possessed by this adherent, by this deity, Orixá, whatever the name is. Demonic possession, people. That is talked about in the Old Testament and New Testament. Candomble venerates spirits known varyingly as Orixá, Inks, if I'm saying it correctly, or Vandu, which are deemed subservient to a transcendent creator god. Oludumare, whatever the name is, deriving their names and attributes from traditional West African deities. The Orixá are linked with Catholic saints. Each individual is believed to have a blah, 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 blah. You get it, though. Let's look at Santeria, people, also known as Regla de Ocho, Regla Lukumi, or Lukumi, is an Afro-Caribbean religion that developed in Cuba during the late 19th century. It arose amid a process of syncretism between the traditional Yoruba religion of West Africa, the Roman Catholic form of Christianity. I just want to pay attention to this real quick. I love the way this was put. The Roman Catholic form of Christianity. So this is not Christianity, but it is a form of Christianity. I love the way that was put, people. Because remember, I've already shown you from Morals and Dogma that Catholicism is Mithraism. It is sun worship, but it takes on many different forms of many other religions as well. But the Bible says that as well, but this is another topic for another day. And Spiritism. There is no central authority and control of Santeria, and much diversity exists among practitioners who are known as creyentes, if I'm saying it correctly, believers. Now, this is a group of Santeria practitioners performing one of these rituals, or whatever you want to call it. Look at this, people. The beliefs and practices of African people are highly diverse, including various ethnic religions. Generally, these traditions are oral rather than scriptural, and are passed down from one generation to another through folktales, songs, and festivals, and include beliefs in spirits and higher and lower gods, sometimes including a supreme being, as well as the veneration of the dead, I already talked about that, and use of magic. In traditional African medicine, most religions can be described as animistic, with various polytheistic and pantheistic aspects. The role of humanity is generally seen as one harmonizing nature with the supernatural. Now this right here at the bottom, you see a local ceremony being performed. Now, since we've gone over all the practices and different beliefs of African spirituality, we're going to see if it aligns with the Bible. Because at the end of the day, for a Christian, I don't care if you're not a Christian, this doesn't apply to you. But if you're a Christian and you possibly practice some of this stuff, in this next video I'm going to make, you got to drop it. If it's a belief that's practiced by African spirituality and it doesn't come from the Bible, you got to drop it, wherever it comes from. If you're a Christian and you practice any of the things that I'm going to talk about in the next video, you got to drop it. Because it's not going to be coming from the Bible. I'm going to guarantee you that on that. But, like I said, though, this Dr. Umar dude, he has his own different belief, and I'm not going to bash him or shame him for that, because this right now, what I'm talking about, deals solely with belief rather than history and everything of that sort. But this is his own belief, but I'm going to say that it contradicts what a Christian believes. It contradicts what a Hebrew would believe.